This episode is presented to you by NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. With NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV, you can watch your favorite teams' out-of-market Sunday games, plus watch up to 4 games at once with Multiview. Don't miss the race to the playoffs. NFL Sunday Ticket is now just $39 when bundled with YouTube TV, where you get even more football. Visit youtube.com/Spotify offer to sign up now. Lowest price on YouTube TV with base plan. Rest of 2023 season. Terms and embargoes apply. No cancellations.
Hey, Brad, you know how Nationwide is more than an insurance company?
Yeah, they're one of America's largest financial services companies.
We get that in a song like Business Life Retirement.
Or Nationwide's there to protect.
I'm kind of the jingle guy.
Not sure I agree with that.
Well, I'm not sure I like your hat.
Well, it would never fit on you.
Products issued by Nationwide Life Insurance Company or Nationwide Life and Annuity Insurance Company. The general distributor for variable products is Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
AT&T connects and ode to podcasts.
Connect the alarm, change the podcast you stream. Connect the snooze, 10 more minutes to dream. Connect the shower, lather up with the news, sports talk, comedians, or movie reviews. Connect with that 3-hour philosophy show. Change the drive into work and traffic so slow. Connect the dishes to voices that glow. Thank you to the geniuses of spoken audio.
Connect the stories, change your perspective. Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
You have the food, the decorations, but you're running out of time to get the perfect holiday gifts. Good thing Sephora offers free same-day delivery. Order the best fragrance, makeup, skincare, and hair care gifts online and have them delivered from the store to your door today. No order minimums, only with free same-day delivery at Sephora. Use code GETGIFTS. Oh, Sephora, that was fast. Offer ends December 24th. Exclusions and terms apply. Beauty insiders only. One-time use available in select markets.
Over there, send the word over there. And the Yanks are coming, the drums rolling everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over.
Back at it again with another episode of the Shades of Blue Soccer Show. We got a result, boys. It feels good. That was the greatest 0-0 draw I have ever seen. USA gets the point against England. An inspired performance. Can I use that phrase? I think it was an inspired performance. The boys stepped up. Another amazing game from Tyler Adams. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the importance of the Iran game. But I do want to spend some time here and just make sure we can bask in the glory of Qatar being eliminated 6 days after spending billions of dollars for this team and this tournament. And it was for 6 days and 2 losses.
A shame. You're a Seinfeld fan, right, Cody? Yeah, remember when Jerry used to say, "Oh, that's a shame."
That's a shame. Yeah, that was very good. Okay, yeah. So honestly, every time during all these games, anytime I see those white robes in the stands, it just gets me. It just irks me. I don't know why. Those white robes, it just really gets me.
So you have plenty of fodder for the Iranian match then as well.
There will be plenty of that for sure.
And other things going on with Iran that we can or cannot talk about either way.
Yeah, that's just why the World Cup is fun. If you can get past all of the atrocities, that's a big if there. But once we're like talking about this, it's so crazy that this can come about. 2 politically divisive nations, and they're playing a game against each other, and it'll be more about just the players on the field, and it's gonna be a very exciting game. But yes, I want to hear what Thad thinks of our boys against the 3 Lions. How are you feeling after that one, Thad?
Actually, pretty good. When they got that first draw, I was the one that was not terribly upset with that, right? I was saying that all they need to do is just keep getting points, and then if you go into that last game with needing a win against a team that can be beaten, they're not a pushover. I'm not saying any of that in any way, shape, or form, but you got to feel good about that, man. You said an inspired performance earlier, and I'm not sure if that would have been the exact same word I would have used, but I think it's the performance that we looked for these guys to do. I mean, they played against one of the top couple teams in the world by talent, if not by performance.
Okay, but if that shot goes under the crossbar from Pulisic, then it is an inspired performance. So we're
Yeah,
talking about a
yeah,
couple inches
we'll
here.
go with that. I'll give you that one, man. I'll give you.
Well, I think it's definitely an inspired performance, because I think the U.S. was inspired by who they were playing. I think that was a factor as well.
We eat up the underdog part of this.
Yeah, right.
I honestly, I think this team could go toe to toe with any team in the world just because they thrive on this underdog thing, and it's like an American thing, I think, right? And we root for the underdogs. They really seem to get up for that. But yeah, obviously the question will be if Greg can get them going for Iran. And I didn't mention that at the beginning here, but I do want to talk about the situation with Berhalter and Reina, which is continuing to develop and getting more and more interesting here. But I want to talk more about this game. 0-0 draw. I know we can't endlessly talk about it forever, but
Well, no, we can.
yeah, honestly, I really
we'll look back to this at some point and go, hey, you remember that game?
Exactly. No, the thing that I was most impressed by was that the first 20 minutes of that, England really dominated. They were the ones that were on the front foot. And the fact that they didn't just lay down and go into a panic after that, and even regained control and were the better team for the rest of the game, I was very impressed by that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we were the best team for the last 10 minutes. That was a little hairy for
Right.
a while. But I think the U.S.'s tactics, the 4-4-2, putting the two forwards on the two center backs was an excellent idea. And I think that's something that really turned the tide eventually once we got into that and pressed them where we need to press them. And it worked well.
I liked the change with Haji Wright in there. There was one moment, he didn't necessarily have too many threats on goal, but there was one moment where a ball kind of comes into the box, it bounces straight up in the air, and he gains control, bodies off a defender, and then turns and faces the defender, taking on the English back line right outside the 6-yard box, and almost crosses him up and I think won a corner out of it. But that was the moment I'm like, oh my God, is this our guy? Like, do we have this big strong dude up front now that can hang with the big guys? So yeah, it was just a small moment, but I was big on Haji Wright for that one.
So, okay, are we going to talk about? Well, we'll talk about Iran in a minute, because I was just going to ask, is he the one that starts next? But we can get into that later.
Yeah, Thad, what you got on Haji?
Oh no, I thought he did pretty well. I was just gonna say, like, Berhalter has gotten a lot of crap throughout the entire time that he's been the coach, and even before that, and so a lot of it justified. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of the moves he made in this game, they were pre-planned moves. There wasn't a lot of. I don't think there was a lot of in-game changes, but it was through England off. It keeping Dest back instead of him going forward, putting McKennie out wide. All those things threw off England. And then you're talking about Haji, but to me, the player of the game was Tyler Adams.
Oh, absolutely. Without a question. He's been absolutely amazing.
And did you see the passing map of England where there was just this big hole where there was nothing, and then somebody like put Tyler's face into the middle of it? That's perfect.
That's all you need to see how well he played in this game. And I'm sure the similar map would have looked the same on the Wales game as well. Yeah.
So did his value go up 5, 10 more million in that one game?
Yeah, he's making himself millions every 90 minutes here. That's definitely what. So let's get back to Greg Berhalter here. You mentioned he's gotten crap since the start, and he has, and honestly, that started from the whole. They set him up for that. The U.S. Soccer set him up for that.
Yes, they did.
Nobody got interviewed. That was what everyone was upset about right at the beginning. He's got a brother that's in U.S. Soccer or something like that, and so no, Peter Vermees wasn't called for an interview. Nobody else spoke to anyone, and so that was why people were hating on Berhalter right from the start. But he's done, like you said, he's made decisions that have gotten him this far. They did this against England. But there is still this very, very weird thing going on with Gio Reyna. Forgetting who is the journalist that was the one that said this. Was it Eric Winalda? Some
I think you're
journalist-
right. Yeah.
Yeah, Winalda, I think, is the one that was talking about this. I don't know who.
But journalist, is that an accurate term for
Oh, I don't know. Is he a
Winalda?
pundit? I don't know. I thought maybe he was a
He's
pundit somewhere at this point.
he's on Sirius Satellite Radio with Tony Miola, and it is interesting listening to him. He's not quite throwing as many fireballs as he used to, but he still drops some out there, especially against people like Barrett Paulson. But
So what he is saying is that Berhalter just straight up lied about Reyna not playing in the first game and called it an injury, and then even asked Reyna to go along with this story. And when he didn't, that has caused a bit of a rift between them. And Winalda has also alleged that it's, maybe even a problem with other players and Berhalter. So I can't believe all of that is going on while they were able to turn in a good performance. Maybe is it in spite of Greg Berhalter? Are they rallying around against him?
oh, that could be too, man. No, I knew there was like strangeness from the first game. I had not heard this last part, but following the comments after the game, Berhalter said he had some tightness, and Reyna said, "No, I'm ready to go." And then he was asked at a press conference about having that tightness or injury, and I don't know who asked it there, but he's like, "No, I just said it was a coach's decision, manager's choice," or however he phrased it.
Right.
And so he's kind of denying that he had said it earlier. I mean, this was like a White House press conference almost.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not necessarily worried about it. I think that they're going to get the win against Iran, but it's just so strange that this is going on the side. Like you said, Greg had been doing enough. Like we saw his plan in motion for this World Cup, and then there's also just this weird thing going along on the side to kind of spoil the fun a little bit.
And my praise of Berhalter was not everything he's done to get here, because I think he's made some big mistakes. Again, what do I know? But I just don't think he's done everything as well as he could have. But I think in this game, he set him up to win. And, other than a shot off a crossbar and what McKennie had one from like just inside the box that went high. And another opportunity I can't remember, I think they had, that was really good. They had the higher expected goals than England, more shots, less possession, but they did everything. He made the most. He put the guys out there in a position to succeed, and they did.
Keep your knee over the ball, McKennie.
Yeah, no kidding.
My gosh. Oh, that would have been so glorious. He did have a good game though. And that's another risk that Berhalter took this game, was playing basically all of those guys that were on a yellow card, and he survived survived the whole match without adding any to that, and though they should be at full strength for Iran, which is the deciding game here. The draw against England is kind of a moral victory, and that's good. We loved it, but it really didn't have too much impact on the rest of the group play here, unless something crazy happens, I guess, with Wales and England.
So is that a concern that the guys have played, the starters have played a lot of minutes, that third game they're going to be spent or not?
Well, you wouldn't think so, right? They all knew. They've known for 4 years that's how a World Cup works, when
Right.
training and fitness leading up to it. But that being said, we've talked about how players have kind of looked sluggish a little bit. We were talking about in the 60th minute of the first game that there were some tired legs, and I thought Yunus Musa looked tired in like the 19th minute of this English game. So that definitely might be a concern, and that might force Greg's hand to get Gio Reyna on the field more.
Well, at least Reyna did come in at the end, though.
Yeah, what minute was that? I rewatched and I forgot to make a note of that.
I don't know. It was pretty late,
right? Yeah, it was late 70s. I thought maybe.
Well, there were some observers who commented that anybody watching Reyna on the field can see that he's hampered by something. I didn't watch him that closely to see if I could see that myself, but going back to Berhalter, is he dumb enough to lie about a situation where the truth is going to come out eventually and it's going to look really bad on him? I don't think he is.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's something going on, but let's not get caught up in one particular person building this up to something maybe it isn't.
Right.
And yeah, you got to always remember. Well, first of all, there was something weird with the whole comments after the first game.
Yeah,
there was
right.
something stupid about that, and I don't know why. In some defense of that, I've often seen players say, yeah, I'm ready to play. But then coaches are like, no, we got the stats from training. He's not completely fit. And maybe you're saving Reyna for the third game where you think he'd be more useful against a team that might bunker more. Maybe you're saving him for when you get to the knockout rounds. I mean, he took players that we knew were not completely fit. I mean, Reyna, I think, played 90 minutes. He got up to 90 minutes in a game, just a week or so before the World Cup. And obviously it was a different level, so maybe that's part of it, was he got up to that 90 minutes and they saw, the medical guys see things that players don't want to admit to, because players want to be on the field. And he may be protecting Reyna from his own stupidity, quite honestly. Okay. Reyna, Pulisic, several others have a long history of injury. So you're risking Pulisic being out there at any second. You're risking McKennie, etc. So maybe you're keeping the one guy that in reserve that you can fill in some spots too. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the logic. I don't think that, like you said, Berhalter is stupid enough to just outright lie about something, but he might not tell the truth in order to protect something.
Right.
This episode is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA and WNBA. The new Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are built different. How? Take the Audio Magic Eraser tool. It helps block out distracting crowd noise so your play-by-play commentary sounds crystal clear. The only phone engineered by Google brings out the audio you care about so your videos sound as crisp as they look. Learn more at googlestore.com/Pixel NBA. Audio Magic Eraser requires Google Photos app. May not work on all audio elements.
So do you think Reyna is the type of guy that we need against an Iran? What might be, putting some sort of a bunker in there?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Iran. So they lost 6-2 against England in the opener, looked terrible, and were 0-0 against Wales through 90 plus minutes until a red card saw them a main advantage, and then they scored 2 in the hour-long stoppage time of this tournament. So it is a stingy defense. Like they're going to be organized and smart defensively, and we will need someone direct like that and creative like that to break it down. But I can't help but have this feeling of, well, whatever we did against England worked, and if it worked against England, then let's just play who's the players that have been on the field, that know what they're in the flow of the tournament. And I don't know. Aronson and Reyna will definitely come in handy, at least off of the bench, because this team is going to be organized defensively, and it's not going to be an easy game by any means. They are a top 20 FIFA ranked team. Yep. So I think a lot of casual fans are going to see this and just, assume we should destroy them. And yes, we should beat them. But this is definitely no given. And the added aspect of them only needing to play for a tie is relevant here, especially with the way that they're going to be playing. So the United States will definitely need some of that creativity from Reyna and Weah and the direct play from Aronson to break that down, I think.
So, okay, Sargent starts the first game. We get the 2 forwards in the England game. Sargent comes on late as well. Is Jesus Ferrari the kind of guy that we need? His movement off the ball to break down an Iran to help with that? And we didn't score against England as well as we played. We still didn't score.
Yeah,
so,
that's why I would change that lineup.
Yeah.
And it's a different game. It's a different game. I mean, you have different expectations of what they're going to play. So I would definitely change at least several of the players.
Like in defense or up front?
Mostly up front.
So I think you're talking about like taking Weah out, because he seems like one of the most dangerous for me. Because you're obviously not talking about taking Pulisic out from the other wing. No, you're not doing that. Weah, he's always been one of my favorite players. Don't get me wrong. I'm wondering if he's more effective with the vertical game, where getting up the field faster and getting the cross in, and actually I would have liked to see him at center forward in a couple of those games. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a possibility.
But if you're expecting a team to bunker, it's again, you never know if they're really going to, because the U.S. took the game to England quite a bit, and you would have expected the U.S. to just bunker. I mean, they had to sit back for a while, absorb some pressure, but then they started getting into the game and started, taking it to England as much as possible. You don't know what Iran's going to do. They only have to play for a tie, but they also have motivation to come beat us. So that's the real guess there, right? So if you think they're going to bunker, maybe you go a little bit different. If you think they're going to come out and you go just, go ahead and counter them as much as possible. So maybe you're right. Maybe you do go with the same team and then make a lot of changes at half.
Well, you talked about Weah whipping in those crosses, getting down the wing, which he has been great at so far in this World Cup. And that's why I think, Robert, you asked about Haji Wright, if he should get the start again. And I think that he should, just because of the physicality that we were talking about. The back line of Iran is not as big and forceful as England. And I do think there is an opportunity for him to get his head on some crosses from Weah that's whipped in.
So you mentioned Musa looking like he was fatigued, early in the England match, and he played okay. Is that a spot that who would you put in that spot instead? Is that an Aronson position he can play, or who would that be?
Yeah, in the England game, I was almost in favor of Kellen Acosta in there, just because we needed the guys that just turn the game on its head and are forceful and chip away at Mason Mount, because we saw how easily he can get pissed off. But this game, I think, is different. I think it does suit maybe Aronson more, or like we said, Musa did play well. He runs like crazy.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I bet Greg kind of does the same thing, the same-ish starting lineup. And then I think he really likes Aronson off the bench because it's just such a change of pace, and he kind of makes everyone's heads go crazy when he comes off the bench.
So is it a 4-3-3 we're going to see as opposed to the 4-4-2 against England? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I haven't. Does Greg switch formations quite a bit? I can't actually recall at the moment.
No, it was a 4-3-3 against Wales. Mostly.
I don't think he typically switches a lot. But
it was 4-3-3 against Wales, and then you could hear Gareth Southgate scream into the mic at one point, like a couple minutes in the 4-4-2 that the US was playing.
Yeah.
I love those sideline mics when they catch that stuff. Oh, we didn't even talk about Weston McKennie wiping his hands.
I thought that was hilarious. And I think the photographer thought it was funny too.
Oh, he loved it.
Yeah.
And he knew he was on national TV too.
Yeah. If that happened to me, I would keep that bib, man. I would do everything I could just to steal it. I have Weston's sweat.
I thought of that immediately, of course.
There's a friend of mine that's a photographer there. He was actually not too far from there, I think. I'll have to see if he got some photos of it.
You guys
okay. Let's talk about a U.S. weakness. There were a couple of times, and this was mentioned in the broadcast, that England was kind of step up when Zimmerman would get the ball. There were a couple of times we had some giveaways and some nervy moments. It's like, dang, man, come on.
Yeah, there were some giveaways, and that was the only worry. 60 minutes into that game, the English game, it was we can win this. Like, this is there for us. All 3 points are there. It's just if they can not make that big mistake on defense, which did kind of feel like it was coming, and they got bailed out a couple times.
Well, Ream has been a beast, though. I've been very impressed.
Tim Ream. I can't believe we made it this far into the podcast without talking about Tim Ream. All of the hate he's taken for so long. At one point, it was just, if you saw him named to the roster, even called up, it would just make people so mad. But
I'm in that category, man.
Thad, you talked about the thought process of Berhalter and bringing in some of those guys that are familiar with playing with them, and obviously that has paid off, because Tim Ream was just an absolute rock back there, and he is slow.
He is.
It just seems like for whatever reason in that game it didn't get tested.
He's got Adams in front of him, so
right.
Yeah, that and that's when you can have those combinations, when you can have a slow center back when you have guys in front of you or to the side of you, and you're doing the right formations. It doesn't have to be everybody's fast. It would be wonderful if everybody was fast, but just not reality.
Now, okay, that's a bit of a Sporting Kansas City connection, but let me make even a different one.
You know where I was going with that.
I think the U.S. could benefit from not necessarily Graham Zusi, but a guy who can play that long diagonal switch like Zuzi can to isolate our wingers a little bit more. I think that's a part of the US's game that we don't have.
Yeah, not necessarily a lot of dime droppers on this team. Tim Ream can move the ball around pretty well, and so can Zimmerman, I guess. But yeah, there's I mean, Dest has done it. He has that in his arsenal, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, that's an aspect that Sporting Kansas City uses all the time to switch up the field with Graham Zusi.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it could be used, or if we had it strongly, it'd be a good thing.
Yeah,
I think Ream's the best at it on the team right now.
Especially against a team like Iran, where you're gonna have to work out all the tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could also expect a lot of set pieces, corner kicks, etc. in a game if the other team is bunkering. And I just have felt like Pulisic hasn't been the best at it.
Hey, in England, he was pretty good against England.
The set pieces,
he was actually frustrated that there weren't people there.
There was one. It was the absolute perfect spot, and not one American moved. I don't know if he kicked it too soon or what, but he put it right on the spot, and it was just begging for Weston McKennie to come flying in there.
It's like a free header for the English defender, whoever it was.
So neither of you guys are bettors, sports bettors, right? I don't know what the line is on Christian Pulisic scoring a goal in this next game, but I am hammering that. If I was a betting man, Pulisic is just inching closer and closer, and he's going to score a goal in this game.
I would actually put not a lot of money, because I never bet a lot of money unless it's a sure thing.
And you would bet that?
What's that?
And you would bet that?
If it's a sure thing.
That's not a sure thing.
I know. That's what I mean. I will only bet when it's a sure thing. Somebody like bet me one time who was going to win the Indianapolis 500 when they didn't know it already finished. I'm like, I told them it was already done. They're watching a replay. Like, no, it's live. I said, okay.
But no, Cody, you're right. Set pieces and Thad 2 set pieces could be a definite game winner against Iran, especially. So let's hope that's the case.
So how are you guys feeling? Are they getting all 3 points that they need? Are the US getting out of this? Are they? I'm feeling like it'll be a late winner, because that's just what the United States does. It'll come before the 98th, like Landon's historic winner. But I do think they're going to
Algeria.
It's going to be a crazy game. I think it's going to be frustrating, but we're getting out of the group.
Well, here's what's frustrating. Okay, so I spent all day yesterday at work not looking at my phone, not looking at my watch, hoping nobody would come into my branch and say anything about the game. So that it sucks, man, not be able to see it live. So I had to come home and, of course, watch it last night. So I'll be doing the same thing next Tuesday.
Did you avoid spoilers?
I did.
Man, World Cup notifications just come in from so many different places. CNN,
I know.
the World Cup notification.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Google,
There's no way I could have avoided it.
I just didn't look, man. My phone or watch went off. I did not look. Wasn't easy.
Tuesday is a busy day for me normally, so that's going to be rough, but I have an out of office up on my calendar already.
Yeah. Where are you watching from, Cody? Going to Power and Light or home?
Well, I don't know that I can do that one in a big atmosphere. I might be curled up at home, or not. Well, not curled up. I will be standing directly in front of the TV, pacing back and forth by myself.
So has anybody looked at the scenarios if we come in second in the group, who we might play? I thought I had heard Netherlands, maybe.
Yeah, we know which group.
Right.
It is that group, and it looks like the Netherlands would finish first at the moment, I think is what you're referring to. So that means we would, if we finish second, we would be matched up with them.
Okay.
That group is, I am absolutely drawing a blank. That's Ecuador. Is Ecuador in that one? Netherlands, Ecuador. Man, where's David at? Where's our stats, man? We need to.
Yeah, I'm pulling it back up here, man.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to just.
I was just thinking out loud.
That's for the next podcast, the victory podcast.
Right.
So I'm gonna make you guys give me a prediction. We don't like doing that on this show, but Robert, give me a.
I think we might actually see some goals here. So my friends who think nothing happens in a soccer game can actually see something happen. I'm going 2-1 US.
2-1. My safety not confident guess. Whenever I want us to win, but I'm not really confident, I always say 2-1.
Well, hey, I'm confident.
Man, goals have been so hard to come by in this tournament for most teams, at least.
Now the floodgates are going to open, guys.
I'll go 2-1, and I'm going to say Reyna, just because I have to, and Tim Ream off a header, just because it will make me just eat more crow.
Oh my God, I would love a Tim Ream header. That would be so great. I'm gonna say a Dos a 0.
Okay.
Different than you guys.
What would that be in Arabic?
You can't ask a question like that and then not have an answer. You can't tee us up like that at the end and not have an answer. Thad's looking up. I want Thad to pronounce this and do all of the throat requirements necessary.
Yeah. No. But they don't speak Arabic.
Oh, they don't. I'm sorry.
It's Persian.
Oops, my fault.
He looked it up.
Or Farsi.
International.
Well, I wanted to make sure I was right here because I was pretty sure they didn't. They speak Farsi or Persian, and that's
my apologies.
Yeah, Thad was all over that the second you started talking. He was like, "Nope, I'm looking this up."
Well, I was just double checking. I was pretty sure I was right, man. But I hate to speak with authority if I'm wrong. So,
worldly cultured show we have here. You learn something.
There you go. That's why I set it up.
All right, boys. 90 minutes to get out of the group stage. I would have loved this coming in. All we got to do is beat Iran and we advance out of the group stage. I'm taking that.
Exactly.
I would have preferred a draw. Only a draw is needed. But yeah.
Oh, come on, Thad.
I was trying to.
It makes it exciting.
Victory.
Makes it exciting. There we go. That's as good as I'm going to get out of Thad to end this podcast.
How about the rest of CONCACAF though? Do we want to dunk on them at this moment?
Oh yeah, poor Mexico. I'm not sorry about that. Lionel, we're recording just after the Argentina game. Messi came through, so glorious. It was because I put on my Tevez jersey at halftime. That's how that happened.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Costa Rica has looked like one of the worst teams in the tournament, and Canada has a chance to get out of their group still. And honestly, they lost to Belgium, but I think they looked like the better team. So
that's going to be a good game tomorrow. Croatia, Canada.
Yes,
Yeah.
we also have Spain, Germany tomorrow. That's going to be another good.
Yes,
Japan, Costa Rica at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Tell you, France has looked really good to me. That's the team that stood out to me so far, but I haven't seen all the games. So
yeah, Mbappe locked in. France is just a very good team.
Yeah,
they have so much talent, man. It's almost not fair. I mean, they're missing several players, and they're just still that good. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can end this podcast talking about how great France is, right?
Go USA!
But hey, I had to tweet out Dos a 0 after the Argentina game.
Yes, I saw that. You beat me to it. I opened up Twitter to do it.
Nice.
Okay. USA! Go Yanks!
Were the red and the white and the blue and